$1,400 third stimulus checks were to land in your bank account by direct deposit yesterday, March 24th. But late yesterday, Janet Yellen released a video on the White House's website saying there would be several weeks until you get by direct deposit. Then the video was removed. Then the Ways and Means Committee chair, Richard Neal, sent not one but two letters saying that there's a reason why checks are missing. But is that letter actually true? And minutes ago, the President of the United States went live, and I'm going to cut into that live video right now. And in that live video, the President said that 100 million checks have been sent out, but that millions of other checks are still on their way. That was what the President said just 2 minutes ago, that millions of other checks, but he would not be specific. Let's listen in right now.
People to decide. I think, I doubt whether, maybe you did, maybe others did. I thought, many of you thought there was no possibility of my getting the plan I got passed without any Republican votes. Pretty big deal. Got passed. Growing the economy. People's lives are changing. So let's see what happens. All I know, I've been hired to solve problems, not create division. Okay, how about Yamiche?
Thanks so much, Mr. President. You've said over and over again that immigrants shouldn't come to this country right now. This isn't the time to come. That message is not being received. Instead, the perception of you that got you elected as a moral, decent man is the reason why a lot of immigrants are coming to this country and entrusting you with unaccompanied minors. How do you resolve that tension? And how are you choosing which families can stay and which can go, given the fact that even though with Title 42, there are some families that are staying? And is there a timeline for when we won't be seeing these overcrowded facilities run by CPB when it comes to unaccompanied minors?
Well, look, I guess I should be flattered.
What you're watching right now is a live press conference from the President of the United States. And minutes before I cut into the live feed, the President said in prepared remarks that 100 million checks have been delivered of the $1,400 surge stimulus check, but that millions of other checks are still on their way. What does he mean? I have all those details right now. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. This is a big day with a lot of shocking developments. If you did not watch the video before that, I'm going back over it, and I'll be going over it all day long. So make sure you subscribe. Also like this video, and I'll be jumping into the live chat with you in just a second. This will be our interactive video. This is the latest details. Viewers of this channel have not gotten stimulus checks. They've not gotten stimulus checks. Now, some have. Some have. Let me go over who has, and then let's go over who hasn't, and then I'll interact with you as well. Viewers on SSI have gotten stimulus checks. Viewers on SSI and SSDI who don't file tax returns have gotten stimulus checks. Viewers on SSI, SSDI who don't file tax returns have gotten stimulus checks. Viewers who are not on benefits who do file tax returns have gotten stimulus checks. But let's go to who has not gotten stimulus checks. All of those groups have also not gotten stimulus checks. I have more viewers not getting stimulus checks yesterday than viewers getting stimulus checks. In fact, I have viewers, hundreds of thousands of them, who pay taxes on 2019 and 2020 tax returns that Janet Yellen knows where they're located, has their bank account information. They did not get a stimulus check. I have viewers who are on SSI and SSDI who filed tax returns, did not get a stimulus check. I have viewers on SSI and SSDI who don't file tax returns, but who got the second stimulus check with no problem and still have the same bank account, did not get a stimulus check. I have hundreds of thousands of viewers who get their benefits every month from Direct Express that got stimulus checks, but then also hundreds of thousands who didn't get stimulus checks. The problem is everywhere. The problem is not just for one group, and it's not for just one situation. The real question we sit here right now is, why is there a lack of transparency from the White House? The president is currently addressing the American people and touting his successes of the help is here. But the truth of the matter is he's not answering the question of who and why people have not gotten stimulus checks. As you know, I've been reporting on the delivery of the second stimulus check and the tail end of the first one. I was not around when the first stimulus check went out. But I got to tell you, I've not seen so many people not get a check before. This is a lot of people not getting a check. It is not a small sequence. The Representative Neal letter released yesterday, there was not one but two of them. The second one is here. Tried to pigeonhole the situation as just people who are on benefits who don't file tax returns. Well, that's not the scope of the problem. I have a lot more viewers than that are not getting stimulus checks. And the contention that it's because Yellen does not have information from SSA, from Social Security Administration. What do viewers think? Let me jump into the live chat right now. Do you believe that your third stimulus check has not landed because they had your information from Social Security in January for the second stimulus, but suddenly they don't have it now? Believe it or don't believe it? Let me hear your comments right now. Do you believe the contention that they don't know anything about you now, but knew something about you less than 8 weeks ago? Believe that? Do you believe that or not believe that? Let me see your comments right now in the chat. Don't believe, says Sharon. Don't believe, says Jorge. Nope, says Keisha. Don't believe, says Adam. Don't believe it. Kathleen, don't believe it. Not at all. Don't believe it. Laura, Susan, Gail, Dennis, Susan, Glenn, don't believe it. Don't believe it. Nope, don't believe it. So 100% of the viewers do not believe the contention from Representative Neal that they have somehow not have your information now in March, but had it in January and had it last year. Not a single viewer believes it. I don't believe it either. Let me explain why there's so many reasons not to believe Representative Neal's contention about why you don't have a stimulus check. His argument is that you don't have a stimulus check because Social Security doesn't know where you are. Here is every fact we've had about what Social Security has said about getting your stimulus checks. First, in March, well, actually not March, May and June of last year, Social Security issued guidance, which I did a gazillion videos on this channel about, that said if you are on SSI and SSDI, Social Security railroad benefits and veterans benefits, don't worry, we know exactly where you are. You don't have to do a non-file filing. Remember those videos? If you receive benefits every month, you're the best type of situation. We know exactly where you are. They said there was only 2 reasons you have to do a non-file filing last year. You newly went on the benefits just in 2020, or you have a child. But that's not even the situation. So they specifically said last year, if you're on benefits, we know exactly where you are. Then Veterans Administration actually issued guidance last year, said don't worry about veterans. Social Security knows, Yellen or then Mnuchin's department knows exactly where you are. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do a non-file filing, veterans. We know exactly where you are. And you got the first and second stimulus by check, fine. Let me jump in the comments right now. Of people who are not gotten the third stimulus check, let me ask, fine or not fine? Did you get the first and second stimulus check fine or not fine? Was there any problems getting the first or second stimulus check? It was fine getting it or not fine? I have a feeling the answer is going to be fine. How about getting that first and second stimulus check? Fine or not fine in getting it? Let me see your answers right now. Fine, 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 says Lorraine. Fine, says Ashley. Fine. Everyone, wow. Everyone says it was fine. Everyone says it was fine to get that stimulus check. And there you go. Everyone had no problems getting the stimulus check. Fine, completely fine. No problem. And you got to understand that these are viewers who use all different instruments. Some use big banks, some use small banks, some use credit unions, some use direct express card. Everyone had no problem getting the first and second stimulus check. Fine, 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 fine. You see, within 1 to 2 days last time, says Allison. Fine. How quickly did you get the... you see how quickly people got the stimulus check. So you see the problem at hand is that the president's press conference, which you're watching right now, started with him saying that 100 million checks have been sent out, a sort of number he used about 2 weeks ago. The number's still 100 million. Even after yesterday's second wave, it's still 100 million. I guess it's just, that's sort of the number he has, 100 million. Well, he says 1 million more still coming. How many million? 30 million? 80 million? 2 million? How many more million are coming? I got to tell you, this is just one channel. I have a couple million viewers just right here who haven't gotten their stimulus check. Can you imagine there's a couple million just watching this little kid here in Santa Monica? I just have a couple million of you who haven't gotten stimulus checks. And he says a few million checks still in the mail. I think it's a little bit more. I think there's a little. How many millions do you think that are unpaid as stimulus checks? Drop in the comments right now. How many? He says 100 million have been paid. How many you think have not been paid by the president so far of the third stimulus check? He says 100 million have been paid. How many do you think he thinks? How many do you think have not been paid? Everything was fine until now, says Frostjack. How many do you think that the president has not paid? 100 million, 20 million, 30 million? More. A lot. 100, says Allison. Billions, says Linda. Trillions. 75%, 82%. 3 million, 200,000, 100 million. 50 times that. Millions, about 40 million, 85%. Over half, says Darrell. 30 million, says Terry. About 80% says Kalisha. I don't think they have a clue, says Diane. 95% says Rocco. More. 50 million, says Sue. Too many, says Steve. 175, says Jorge. So there you go. Viewers do not believe the contention from this president that 100 million checks have been sent out and that millions are still on their way. They think the number is. I wish I was live when he said the statement. He said 100 million checks have been sent, and pause, millions or more coming. It was like he held the word for a second before he said it. It sort of sounded like he wanted to say something and didn't say it. So he may not know. Maybe he's not been briefed on it. But the situation is very clear. If you're just joining me, let me tell you what's happened. Yellen's team on Monday said that stimulus checks are going to come on March 24th. And if you don't get them March 24th, they are in the mail. And then yesterday, on March 24th, with 30 minutes left in the banking hours on the East Coast, White House released a video with Yellen saying stimulus checks will be landing in direct deposit. You don't have to do anything. We know where you are. That's her video. We know where you are. You don't have to do anything. She then went on to say more stimulus checks will be coming in the next few days to weeks. Days to weeks. And then this morning, the video was yanked. The video was yanked by the White House. The video was yanked after I said the video makes no sense, number one. Number two, it shows that help is not here. And number three, there was not one but two letters from Representative Neal that says stimulus checks have not been sent out. Now, whether you think that Representative Neal's letter is just all off point, which I think it is, his message is very clear. Stimulus checks haven't been sent. You haven't sent out checks. So why the checks have been sent out? I think Representative Neal has that wrong. I don't think he understands who's missing checks. There's a lot more people missing checks. Let me ask you. Do you think that there are more people than Representative Neal thinks that are missing checks? Do you think there's a lot more people missing checks than Representative Neal thinks? More or not more? I think there's a lot more people that are missing checks based upon the viewers of this channel than what Representative Neal says. Representative Neal says, it's only people who don't file tax returns and on SSI. Do you think there's a lot more? I think there's a lot more because I have had hundreds of thousands of viewers since yesterday say there's a lot more. There's Brandy says more. More says Dorothy. Yes, more. More says Sharon. More says Joan. More says Lynn and Dorothy. More says Laura. More says Sandra and Travis. A lot more. Yeah, it is a lot more. It's a lot more. And the problem is that this White House wants to brag about how well it's doing things with the stimulus check. Let's listen and see what they're talking about now.
To come.
Well, look, the idea that I'm going to say, which I would never do, if an unaccompanied child ends up at the border, we're just going to let them starve to death and stay on the other side. No previous administration did either, except Trump. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. That's why I've asked the Vice President of the United States yesterday to be the lead person on dealing with focusing on the fundamental.
A lot of people contend that the president has a lot of issues to deal with and is being a little bit overwhelmed at the moment. Of course, that's sort of the job of the president. You have a lot of things to deal with. And he has the issue of the border. The vast majority of this live press conference, which you're seeing, which I cut away from, has been about the border. He started with the stimulus checks. He started about vaccines and the stimulus checks. He said 100 million doses, we're going to go to 200 million doses. And then he said stimulus checks, I've delivered 100 million checks, and there's more millions coming. He did not give anything beyond that. And that's particularly not assuring after yesterday's developing details from across the board. Let me jump into the live chat now, and let's see which banks you have not received stimulus checks from. Direct deposit, says Shana. Another person said direct deposit. The 10 days was a joke, says Kathy. That was what the president said. Metabank, says Teresa. Direct Express, says Veronica. TCD, Wells Fargo, Chime, Chase, Columbia, BT&A, Bluebird, says Christine. There's Direct Express from Liz, BVA from Jorge. There is Midwest Bank from Sharon, Bank America from Francine, Direct Express from Celicia, Columbia Bank from Sonia, Chase from Mary, Direct Express, Steve, Green Dot. Now, what you see so far in these comments is compelling, and that sort of proves our point, which is on this screen right now, we see Green Dot, Chase, we also see Direct Express, Wells. All those banks have also paid stimulus checks of $14 to viewers of this channel. So we simply just don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. On March 17th and March 24th, people got stimulus checks from the same banks that viewers are not getting stimulus checks from. So if you just posted some of your banks, among those banks that just posted, I have viewers that did get stimulus checks. Now understand, I have less that got stimulus checks than more that did not get it. So for example, yesterday viewers got stimulus checks from Chase, Direct Express, Green Dot, Citizens Bank, Bank America, H&R Block, Regions Bank, TD Bank, PNC, Wells, and US Bank. But that was about 100 to 200 viewers. And I calculated it was 500,000 to 1 million viewers did not get stimulus checks yesterday. And you see right now that many of them are from the exact same bank. Summary, I don't see any bank that has yet to pay that has not paid out stimulus check. Almost every single bank I've seen has paid at least someone of this channel stimulus checks. So why has it not paid other people the stimulus checks? Let's tune in and see what's going on now with the live feed from the White House.
In days, what's your reaction? What is your reaction to these images that have come out from that particular facility? Is what's happening inside acceptable to you? And when is this going to be fixed?
That's a serious question, right? Is it acceptable to me? Come on. That's why we're going to be moving 1,000 of those kids out quickly. That's why I got Fort Bliss opened up. That's why I've been working from the moment this started to happen to try to find additional access for children to be able to safely, not just children, but particularly children, to be able to safely be housed while we follow through on the rest of what's happening. That is totally unacceptable. Ken.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to ask you about Afghanistan. You face a
lot of international questions and border questions as well. But one of the questions still remaining is what happened to this video? Why was this video from the White House, that's me, let me cut to the part of the video in which Janet Yellen speaks. Why was this video from Janet Yellen removed yesterday? In the video from Janet Yellen, you can see her talking about the delivery of the stimulus checks. and she says they're going to come promptly. Why was this video removed from the White House between late yesterday and today? Let's listen in again to this video, which has now been removed from the White House's website. The White House, which of course is on the East Coast, released this video. This video is with Janet. Let's listen it. Let's listen it.
$1,400 checks, although they're not always checks and they're not always $1,400. The $1,400 checks. If you have a larger family, generally you'll receive more. A single person making $75,000 or less with no dependents will get $1,400, while a family of 4 will get 4 times $1,400 or $5,600. Most American households, more than 85%, qualify for these payments. To receive the money, most people have to do absolutely nothing. The IRS will electronically deposit into your bank account on file. We'll be working hard over the next few days and weeks to get this money out to you.
That message that she says in there is very clear. First, she says, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. We'll use the address and the bank account information you have on file. That's what we chatted about earlier in this video. I asked viewers, did you get the first and second stimulus check? Fine. Yeah, I got it fine. I got the first and second stimulus check by direct deposit fine. Well, you got the second one just a few weeks ago. She says you don't have to do anything. Now, here's what's important about the video that has now been removed from the White House. Who cares what day the video was recorded? If this video was recorded 3 weeks ago or 3 hours ago, the message from her is that you don't have to do anything because her department has your information. They can send you the stimulus check. They either have the information or they don't have the information. The message of the video is still the same whatever day the video was produced. It was produced 2 weeks ago or yesterday. The video has the same message. We have your information. You don't have to do anything. And guess what? You got the first and second stimulus check with no problems. Viewers said fine. And now, yesterday, this happened. This letter came out where Representative Neal tried to say, the reason why you didn't get the stimulus check is there's something wrong with Social Security Administration. And because of Social Security Administration not providing the information, you don't have it. Well, Representative Neal must not have watched the Yellen video. Because the Yellen video says we don't need anything. We have it. We have it. We don't need anything. That was her exact, very clear words. We don't need anything from anyone. We have your information. And you know why they have your information? On a personal level, you know why? Because you got your second stimulus check just a few weeks ago. You got the letter in the mail after you got the check. Say, hi, we just mailed you. We sent you a check. You keep on getting things and you get your benefits every month. You think the federal government doesn't know how to send you a deposit to your direct deposit every month of your benefits? Of course they do. Of course they do. It's the federal government. So the contention of this letter is misguided. It's misguided because the letter tries to blame some department not providing the information to Janet Yellen, and that's why she can't send out a check. That's not what she says. That's not what her video says. She says, we have all the information. You don't have to do anything. We have all the information. You don't have to do anything. It's one of those strange twists where the president was quick to announce his success in getting those stimulus checks out and is yet to really get them out the correct way. And here's another message that's really surprising. If you did not join me earlier on Mornings LA, was this. SBA. Remember SBA? Remember the business lunch show on here on the midday show? The president was supposed to provide money for businesses that have been impacted by the pandemic to get them going. Well, we had great news yesterday as SBA announced that older applicants under Trump, under 2020, could get their loans increased. But what about that grant that the president promised new businesses of $5,000 if they've been impacted by the pandemic. $5,000 if you have less than 10 employees and you had downturn of your business. SBA is now suggesting they're never going to open that. Are they going to change policy? The law provides that they're supposed to open a grant for you to get a $5,000 grant for your business. SBA is now posting on the website, no, we're going to take that money from the third stimulus package and pay off the first stimulus package's EIDL grants. Let's hope they change that one. Moving goalposts. It's one of those days where we're going left and right across the board. Let me jump into some of your comments and questions right now and see some of the things you're saying. Brenda, no stimulus yet. Why is she in charge? Mashawn Grower. Let me just add a personal note. If you see Janet Yellen's live feeds when she's testifying before Congress with a white backdrop, with the white room, that's her home in New York. I'd like to know the last time she was in D.C., actually in the Treasury office, because she keeps on, every time she's on a live feed, she's in New York. She's not in D.C. So where art thou? Nothing yet, says Patricia. Nothing, says Bobby. Something's fishy going on, says Vernice. Very well said. I just checked my mailbox, nothing yet. And I just called Direct Express and nothing's pending. There is Rhonda. LA, thank you for saying, well, I'm referring to delivery of the stimulus checks. The viewers earlier in this chat was asked, did they get the first and second stimulus check fine? They said fine. Viewers said they got the first and second stimulus check fine. I'm referring to the delivery of the check. And now the delivery of the third check, it's not working. So there's something going wrong with the delivery of the third stimulus check. Still waiting on my stimulus from MetaBank, H&R Block, to my Chase Bank, says America. EIDL loan in 2020 denied, but I got an invitation to apply again. Oh, congratulations, Chaley. I got my stimulus check in the mail today, says Sylvia. Great news. So this is what's important to know about the mailed checks. Mailed checks could still show up today, the next few days, and as well. Stimulus, if you go to irs.gov and you're able to track your stimulus check tool, it may say that the check is in the mail. That would be the best case scenario, because ultimately, if it is in the mail, then at least you're going to get it that way. Let me ask viewers right now, when you use the irs.gov tool, work or not work? Yesterday, the predominant answer was not work. Is the irs.gov tool working for you or not working? Nothing not working, says Allison. Does the IRS tool work for you or not work for you? Drop in the comments now. Let me see what you're saying. Not working, says someone. Not working, says Kathy. Steve, Ricky, Veronica, Latasha, Linda, Yolanda, Michael, Anita, Sherry, Lori, Jazz, Denise, Danielle. So wow. So that's a lot of people for the tool not to be working. I mean, look at that list. You can see the list as well. That's a lot of people for the IRS tool not working. Now, you and I use the term not working, but it may indicate that it is working and they haven't sent out a stimulus check. There's two ways to interpret this no results, what we call not working. It may actually be working, just they haven't sent out a stimulus check. That's why there's no information. But let's hope that's not the situation. We really don't know at the moment. We really don't know. But the fact is that millions of checks are on the way is what the president's press conference, which you're watching right now, the president started this press conference by saying millions of checks are on their way. Well, how many millions of checks are on their way? Because viewers who use the IRS tool who are in this live chat right now, 100% of them are saying, I have no information from the IRS tool that the check is on the way. Is the check really on the way? Because I don't see the check on the way. Not working, says viewers. Viewers say not working. Something has to be done. This is ridiculous, says Ann. Says no information, says Mary. Brenda says not working. It's never worked, says Chef Roberto. I'm wondering why it's taking so long. Let me give you the big recap where we are at the bottom of this video. What you're watching right now is a live feed of the press of the president, his first presidential press conference. It's a press conference because he's actually answering questions. Most of the questions have been about the border. That's why I cut away. But here's the breaking, developing details, and for all extended purposes, exclusive details. These are exclusive details you're only going to hear on this channel. The exclusive details are the following. On Monday, Janet Yellen's team said that a $14 third stimulus check would land your bank account on Thursday, and that yesterday, March 24th, and that it was the second wave, that if you did not get a stimulus check during the first wave, that it was coming on the second wave. The stimulus checks were sent out last Friday, and that they would land on March 24th. And that if you did not get it on March 24th, you would get it in the mail. We were pretty clear with that message, because it's a pretty clear message up to that point, and that a large number of people who were expected by direct deposit would not get it in direct deposit on March 4th. It would come in the mail. That was all very clear. And then Janet Yellen was the subject of a recorded video released by the White House with 30 minutes left in the banking hours of March 24th yesterday. And in it, she says that your stimulus check will come within a couple of days or weeks by direct deposit. Viewers of this channel were shocked. But she also says in the video, you don't have to do anything. We have all your information. It's all automatic. It'll appear fine. Don't worry. Well, the day ended with a second letter from Representative Neal saying, no, you need to worry because they don't have your information. He released not one, but two letters saying, Janet Yellen doesn't have your information. Even though her department had the information just a few weeks ago to send out the $600 stimulus check, viewers of this channel were just asked in the top of this video, if you got the first and second stimulus check, fine. Fine, they said. Viewers asked, any problems getting the first? No, I got the first and second fine. No, there was no problem. I got it. So here is where the situation currently stands. This channel is doing about half a million to about 1 million views a day. And I've had every type of viewer across the board not get a stimulus check. People who file tax returns, not getting stimulus checks. People who don't file tax returns. People on benefits, people not on benefits. People who got the first and second stimulus check fine, not getting the second stimulus check fine. And then people who use that IRS tool, 100% of them are now saying it's not working for them, and they don't have any updates about where their stimulus check is. Now, over the weekend, we had a lot more of you getting updates that it was coming by mail. But the number seems to be shrinking, as now we're seeing the vast majority of viewers getting no updates from the IRS tool that shows where it is. So the viewers of this channel were asked, do you believe that the Representative Neal letter is accurate as the situation or inaccurate? Meaning, is the situation far larger than what he understands, and that is not really the reason why they haven't sent out stimulus checks? And viewers said, yeah. It's not because they don't have your information. It's because they haven't sent out the checks. It's because they haven't sent out the checks. And with that, there's a lot still happening. We have a lot more to cover. And the day is just starting. So make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And I'll be back with you at noontime LA as the excitement continues. And boy, we are far from over. Stay informed. Keep on smiling. Don't get fret. And don't worry. The check will come. We just have to apply the pressure. And stay with LA for more.